is it taking so long? Who's working on the wiring?
Jim Maloney.
Maloney. He's a Catholic.
He's our best man.
You don't have to look so offended. I hire Catholics. As you well know, I'm jeered at in the street for it. No, you can bet the Pope's nephew as far as I'm concerned. But if he doesn't get this bloody wiring finished in the next 10 days, we're going to miss the bloody trials.
Steady on, Uncle Bill. Deep breaths. How's it going, Maloney?
Slowly, I'm afraid, Mr. Anders.
You know our chairman, Lord Perry?
Why is it going slowly?
Well, the system is more complicated than the scheduled time allows.
It's designed in sections that are independent of each other.
Why?
The trips will mean that if there's a fault in one, all the others will continue to function.
Yeah, but there won't be a fault. Not on Titanic. His men must be here by now.
I'll be there in a minute. Is there anything I can do to sort it out?
Not unless you can sort the country out.
Better men than I have tried.
Look at me. I am a qualified engineer, and I'm up a ladder with a screwdriver. That's how it is for a Catholic in these parts.
So you've no faith in the Home Rule Bill?
Even if they get it through the Commons, they'll tear it to shreds in the Lords. Why do you think those hooligans are screaming at the kids? They'd rather die than see Home Rule. There's no future for a Catholic in Belfast. If I had any sense, I'd be on the ship on the way to America.
Why aren't you?
I have a family. And even if I had the money for the tickets, there'd be nothing left to get us started once we're there.
If you were in charge, what would you do to change things?
Recruit new men to begin with. None of this lot know enough about electricity.
Could you find a better team?
There are men I have trained myself. But if they come from West Belfast, will that be allowed?
Really, Thomas, you're being stubborn. We'll never need lifeboats for every passenger. They're ferries, nothing more. If liners sink at all, they take a very long time about it. More than enough for other boats to reach them.
Exactly. When Republic sank, 6 people were killed in the collision, but everyone else had been transferred to another vessel before the ship went down.
And we have the 4 collapsibles in addition to the 16 boats, so we've far more places than we're obliged to provide.
Maybe, but it's
what?
We seem to be cutting corners.
Do you mean to insult me and the White Star Line? Or is your target your uncle's shipyard?
I'm sure he doesn't mean to insult anyone, do you, Thomas?
No, of course not. I apologize. But we ought to be aware of what's going on. Look at the compartments in the hull.
Are they your stroke of genius?
They might have been if I'd been allowed to continue them up to the deck.
Oh, come on. It would take a gash of more than 200 feet before there was any danger.
But it doesn't end there. Why are we using iron rivets instead of steel? We know they're weaker.
We have used steel rivets.
Only on the sides. We've iron at the prow and the stern. And where are we getting them from? Random makers. They've no record with the company. And as for the riveters themselves...
It seems to me, Mr. Andrews, you're trying to find fault. Is this to serve as an excuse when and if your design is proved wanting?
So, you're missing the trials?
Yes, I have to. I'm needed in the Liverpool office. Good luck with it. I'll see you on the 10th of April.
I'm afraid I may fail you, too. I woke up with a sore throat this morning, which I want to get rid of before we sail. But I shall want a full report.
You'll have one. How a man like that gets to be head of the White Star Line is a mystery to me.
Not an impenetrable one. His father owned the company. Oh. Ride your friend Maloney. We can't miss the damn trials because of the electrics.
No. Maloney, I have a proposition to make. If I empower you to take over the completion of the wiring, you may recruit whom you like. You also travel with your family to New York on Titanic's maiden voyage, so your savings will give you a start when you get there.
You pay for all 6 of us?
The company will provide free third-class passage for you all.
Steerage. Would your wife travel steerage?
For heaven's sake, man, it's 5 days of a little discomfort. Is that a big price to pay for a new life? In a new country?
What about my work team?
You can have who you like. Leave that with me.
Very well.
Good. It's too late for a whole cabin in third, but I'll make sure you and your sons are together and your wife's with the girls.
That's good of you.
Any problems to report, Chief? Anything we should know about before we begin the trials?
Nothing yet, sir.
Ah, good. How are you doing with the crew, Mr. Lightoller?
We're taking on men here in Belfast and in Southampton. No problem so far, sir.
Mr. Blair?
Well, if a second officer is allowed to complain, sir, the storage space is limited. I'm packing equipment in all over the place, sir.
Well, make sure someone knows where it is. We don't want to get caught out if you fall overboard.
Are we taking any measures against the anarchists, sir?
What?
These are dangerous times.
I think Officer Murdoch means that a ship as famous as Titanic is an obvious target, sir.
Gentlemen, all White Star ships carry guns. And I don't believe a bomb would do sufficient damage to take us down. But I'm afraid that's all I can say to reassure you. Life is a risk every day that passes. The truth is, man might sink us, even if nature can't.
Steerage?
It won't be so bad.
No. Of course it won't. I'm sure it won't. Not on Titanic. How are your plans going? For when we get to New York?
Whatever turns up. It's bound to be better than Belfast.
Hasn't been so terrible.
There's no career for a Catholic in Belfast, Mary. There might be a job in New York. I have to weigh it out against a certainty.
You've always worked.
I have survived on scraps from the Protestants' table.
I only meant you've always found work here. So I know you will when we get there. I'm sure of it.
I hope you're right, darling. Oh, God, I hope you're right.
Well, I'm afraid I don't quite understand, sir.
You're being very slow, Mr. Lightoller. The company has decided that Mr. Wilde will replace Mr. Murdoch as chief officer. Mr. Murdoch will become first officer, and you will become second.
But, sir, we've already allocated the duties between us. I mean, should we unravel all that when we're sailing in a few hours?
May I say something, sir? As you know, I've served as chief to Captain Smith in Titanic's sister ship, Olympic. There's little difference between them, and I believe it would be useful to have a captain and a chief who really know how the ship works.
Exactly.
Well, I've served in Olympic too, sir. I know how Titanic works.
Well, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be said on the subject.
So what happens now, sir? Does Davy Blair replace Pittman, Pittman Boxall, Boxall Low, and so on?
No. Mr. Blair will leave the ship here in Southampton. All other officers will remain in their present posts. Look, I'm sorry, Blair, but you must understand I can hardly countermand a company order.
No, of course not, sir.
Well, I'm sure they'll find you a new berth soon enough.
I don't know what my mother will say, sir. She was so excited.
Well, I hope one day she'll be able to forgive us.
Teresa, will you stop that now and come and stand by me, please? Sean? Sean? Sean, where are you? Sean? Sean!
Belongs to you, I think.
Don't run away like that.
Thank you.
sir. Will the ship be full, sir?
First will be. There are some places in second and third. What's your name?
Oh, Annie Desmond, sir.
And your position?
Cabin stewardess in second class, sir. And to look after the dining room for the servants of the first class passengers.
Who will all be quite as difficult as their employers.
That's not for me to say, sir. Oh!
Sorry. Crew?
Right to the end and turn left. And next time, don't use these stairs.
What numbers do the tickets say?
I know where I'm going.
Come on.
Wait.
Why wasn't this unlocked with the others?
Excuse me. I missed something. Sorry. Stay here. All right, quickly, quickly. Come on.
Come on, come on.
All right, everybody in. Come on, quickly. Get on the beds. Quickly. Go. You get.
Alive.
There were a good many Italians coming on board when I arrived.
I don't know about a good many. There are some stokers, the waiters for Signor Gatti's restaurant, but that's about it.
Well, keep it that way. They're an excitable breed. And politically unstable, to say the least of it.
We'll make sure they stick to the straight and narrow, sir.
You heard Lord Perry's cancelled.
It's an ill wind. I promised a cabin next to Lord Manton for his daughter. Now they can have it.
But there's a waiting list, sir. And several passengers in first wanted a larger cabin if one came free.
Never mind that. The cabin will be taken by Lady Georgiana Griggs.
So here we are, packed into the stairs with the sweepings of the streets of the city.
Don't be such a grump. It's not so bad, and it's not for long.
Wait.
Sorry, missus, but these men have tickets for this cabin.
We were shown in here.
Goodbye.
Do I know? We've only just arrived.
Oh, look, there must be some other places for us. You know we don't know each other. We don't need to be together.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
I
gentlemen.
would like to see the tickets, sir.
All right, packets. I had them just a moment ago.
Oh, come on. Let's leave them to it. Come on.
Sir, just give me a minute, sir.
I'm thirsty, Ma.
Just wait 1 minute, darling, and we'll go and look for a drink.
But I'm thirsty now.
I'll take her.
Come on.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry.
Wasn't made for you, then?
I don't like to think of the shape of the man this was made for.
Do you want me to fix it?
Thank you. You're very well equipped.
Oh, you wouldn't get far in my job without needle and thread.
promised myself to visit the statue and take
Thank you.
Sandrini.
Did I actually see you wink at Lady Georgiana Grex?
She's very pretty.
Pretty? Pretty? Have you any idea how offensive that is?
I don't think she was offended. She smiled.
Silence! One more incident like this, Sandrini, and you'll stay in your cabin for the rest of the voyage. You'll also forfeit your pay. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now get back to work.
So why New York?
Why not? My reasons are no different to any other passengers. Europe was wrong for me. I want a new start.
Do you think we should have stayed and tried to change things?
I've done enough of all that.
What, so you've given up?
And I don't care who knows it. Let the downtrodden cringe from the lash of their masters. I'm off to the new world, and I won't be back.
Cheers.
You drop this.
Aren't you going to thank him?
Thank you.
This is Peter Lubov. This is my wife, Mary.
Mrs. Maloney?
What's the matter? That's not like you.
Nothing.
We had the captain this evening, but we won't again. He eats at a different table every night.
What about the rest of your lot?
English lords, Yankees millionaires.
Nice?
Nice enough. For the most part.
Mine are all right. At least passengers are. First-class servants are an odd bunch. Grander than their masters and touchy as a king in exile. Oh, we almost had a fight earlier on. One of the valets was teasing a lady's maid who stole a book. Thought they'd come to blows.
But they didn't.
Gave it back in the end. He's got a soft spot for her. I don't think he knows it, and she certainly doesn't. I must get on. I should not be in first class anyway. You're a bad influence. You can't come with me.
I can try.
Lady Manton.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain.
What are you doing here?
I was curious. I wanted to look.
Just don't make any trouble.
Take it. Very good.
allowed in. We're only second class.
Everyone is welcome at the service.
What do you mean, only? I am not only anything. It just seems wrong that second class and servants and steerage are all to worship with us. I think I may go back to the cabin.
But the captain will be so disappointed if you weren't here.
You can laugh. But it is odd of them to fling us all in together, Hugger Mugger. Half of them look suspiciously like Catholics.
I don't imagine Jesus minds one bit.
Got the order of service. Give it.
Thank God it's over.
Batley, I'll come in search of you at 4 and take you back for tea.
Are you sure it's no bother?
Quite sure. We're looking forward to it. Aren't we, my dear?
Is there a locksmith there? The lady has a job for.
But I have to find Lady Manton's maid, and she's just gone down here.
I'm sorry, sir. Third-class passengers only past this point.
Her ladyship has asked for her.
I can't help that, sir.
Oh, Mr. Lightoller, please, Miss Watson. She's just gone down into third, and now I have to go and fetch her. Yeah, let him down. Thank you. It's when they try to come the other way that matters.
What did you make of first class?
Very elegant.
I'm sure it will be. Once the colours have settled down.
Is there anything else?
Good night.
Good night.
Well, let's just hope there was no one we know in the saloon. Because I wouldn't want any witnesses to that exhibition of grovelling. I'm surprised you've any stomach left after crawling on it for most of the afternoon.
I was being polite. It was kind of Lord Manton to invite us.
And we know why. He was so kind.
He wanted to show his gratitude to someone who's worked for him with duty and discretion.
Discretion, I grant you.
What are you talking about?
About a young lady in Leafy Dulwich who doesn't know that she's the bastard daughter of the Earl of Manton, thanks to the ever-so-discreet John Batley, Esquire.
Have you been reading my papers?
No, the birds told me. Of course I've read your papers. Very dull they are too, most of them.
You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, what should I have done? Locked in a boring house in a boring street in a boring suburb of a city I hate. What would you suggest I do? Does he visit her?
No. He thinks it might confuse her. Maybe when she's grown up.
And why would he need to? Got 2 healthy children at home.
I wish I could have given you a child.
Oh, please don't pretend you think it was your fault.
What difference does it make? Would you tell me what you want? What I can do that might make you happy?
I tell you what I don't want. I don't want to have to pay court to my Lady of Manton, who thinks she's so far above us, and she's got the brains of a kipper and the charisma of an egg.
All right.
Why is it so hard for you to understand that I want to feel just once, just once, that my life is worth living. That it matters that I was born, that a part, a speck of my existence has tiny, infinitesimal value.
It has value to me.
Ah, you found her then?
Yes, thank you.
She doesn't look too clever.
Miss Watson's just having a bout of seasickness.
Well, then she has my sympathy.
It'll pass.
There you are. Wondered where you got to.
I felt like a breath of air. Teresa says we're like 6 little pigs, packed into that cabin, all trusted and bound for market.
We're 6 people bound for a new life. And we'll have plenty of air to breathe when we get there.
We will. How are the children?
Washed and changed. But they need their ma to take them for tea.
Really, officer, I wish you would explain the company policy. We have Madame Obard, who I gather is almost a woman of the streets.
Well, everyone has a right to cross the Atlantic.
But not in first class. And what about that frightful Mrs. Brown? It's bad enough that one has to put up with the rudeness of people like the Wardiners, but why should we have to suffer Mrs. Brown? She shrieks like a panicking mule, yet last night she had the captain at her table. I'm sure he looked at me as though he was suffering, but that doesn't alter the fact that it was wrong.
We never race. Let Cunard collect the blue ribbon.
Well, I wasn't talking about racing, just making up a little time. At that rate, we could arrive half a day earlier.
White Star offers reliability and luxury second to none. That's enough. A few hours here or there will make no difference. Oh, I think I can hear my bed calling. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night. Well, we'll see about that. I have never seen such a clear sky or a calmer sea. I think we can make a little headway without frightening the horses.
We have had some ice warnings, sir, from various ships in the area.
Well, our course is well south of the ice field.
Can't find the binoculars. Does anyone know where Davy put them?
We'll send out a search party in the morning.
Well, that's it for me. I'll take a tour, then turn in. I meant what I said. You'll let me know if any changes.
Right, sir.
Made it. So that is 5 hearts achieved, plus 50 for the insult from this naughty man here. Whose deal is it?
Mine.
All well. Seems so. Except Mr. Lightoller's lost the binoculars. According to David Blair, it's all your fault. Not enough storage. How was your tea party?
Oh, that's clever of you, Captain, to recognize me.
It's my job.
I never think of myself as particularly memorable. Yes, it was enjoyable. Thank you.
Well, it's Lord Manton you must thank. And Mrs. Batley. Did she have a good time?
Oh, it's hard. Mrs. Batley to have a good time. I don't know why I said that. I do apologize. Please forgive me.
No, of course. Well, I'll say good night.
If it had been the third or even the fourth.
What do you say?
We have 2 hours, 2.5 if we're lucky.
She can't sink.
She can't float. Not for much longer.
Come on! Don't hurry up! Come on, just get out!
We've hit an iceberg, sir.
Stop the engines.
Water's up to F deck in the mailroom.
Not yet.
Just put it on and come with me.
No, I have to get my jewels first.
Never mind that.
I'm not giving them up. What else have I got to show for the last 20 years?
As soon as you're ready, make your way to the second-class section of the boat deck.
Of course. Let's make sure even our drowning is second class.
Put on your life jacket.
No, I don't like to.
If you don't wear one, men like me might think we don't have to.
What do you mean, men like you?
Men who can't face reality.
Thank you.
We've made contact with Carpathia, sir, and they're coming, but they're 4 hours away.
What's the matter with that ship on the horizon? Why aren't they responding? What are they doing?
The boats are ready, sir, but we have to start loading.
I don't think...
They're saying we only have 90 minutes. I must start.
You're confident about the learning procedures?
Well, I won't fill them in case they split. I'll put the women in, and the children, then the men can swim out to the empty places.
And you've discussed all this with Andrews?
I'm sure he'll approve the plan, sir. Do I have your permission?
Don't understand.
We must begin to load, sir. Mr. Wilde.
I think we should wait to hear what the captain has to say.
Right, sir. I'll take that as an order to lower the boats.
Boats were tested full in Belfast. Weren't they?
Annie!
They were with him. No, I have to get my jewels.
Jewels are gone. Put these on.
No, there's no point to this. They're trying to get to the boat. What in God's name is going on here? Close it down, now. And get them all up on deck.
Thank God I kept the best of mine out. What a stroke of luck.
As if you needed look, you patronizing bitch!
This is
no more gracious, but
have-
I'm not in the mood. You think you're so smart, so fine, so aristocratic. You are pathetic. You're stupid and ignorant.
You get back.
You are
You get away
selfish
from
and
us.
unkind.
Batley, over here. Come and take control of your wife.
Take control? How dare you, you arrogant pig!
Will you shut up?
I will not shut up for you, dirty philanderer like you. Oh, yes, quite the big nobleman now, aren't you? What about your grubby little secrets and dullage?
Oh, will you foolish, foolish woman. Are you pleased with yourself? So now, even if we do survive, I will have a job to come home to.
Stop whining!
Will you all please stay calm? You will be taken up on deck very soon. There is no danger.
Why do you keep saying that? What is every bloody danger?
Why are you holding them down here? What are you afraid of? Just let the women and children through at least.
Ma, I'm scared.
Oh, don't be, darling. They're only shouting because it's their way. They'll be out of here in no time.
We're losing control. If we don't do something, we're going to have a riot on our hands. I've got our orders.
Right. Send the women with young children to the front, and I'll take the first group up on deck. Come on.
Come on, both of you with me. Come on, come on.
That's it.
Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, shoot.
That's enough! Stand back! Keep back!
Let my wife and children through.
Stand back!
Hey, what's that?
I said, stand back.
Ready, go! Go, go, now!
Go, John! Go! There! Sean! Back! Please! Oh!
Make your way to the boat deck.
Take them to A deck. They're loading straight from the window to the promenade.
Turn back. Turn back. Make your way to A deck.
It's this way. Come on.
Make your way to A deck. We're going to A deck.
Mother, please! I can't. I just can't. That's all there is to it. I'm staying right here.
Can I help? Can I help?
Yes, my mother won't wear a life vest, and I won't get on a boat.
Now, Mrs. Gibson, you want to help Dorothy, don't you? But she won't leave without you, so... For her to be safe, you must be safe.
Thank you, Mr. Lightoller.
Oh, wait. Here, take this.
Can't carry a bottle of brandy.
There may be others on the boat who will need it. Especially if you pull anyone in from the sea. Go.
Sir, please. Sir, let her take her place. Careful. Mind steps.
And your head.
One at a time, please. One at a time. Next, please.
Are these ladies first class?
No, sir.
We are only loading the ladies from first class.
Is there ice in your veins?
What's the trouble here?
We're trying to help the ladies, sir.
But they're second class and they ought to be on the boat deck, sir.
Just help them and be done with it.
Excuse me, please. Are there any more women? Are there any children? Are there any more women?
Here! Excuse me. Is this right for second class?
It is now. Come along, fast as you can.
Can we both get in?
Yes, I don't see why not. Mr. Lightoller says no men, but what's the point when there's no more women? Go on, go on!
There's women and children here! Mr. Hunt! They've been holding the steerage below, sir.
Well, get them on board then. On you go. Quickly! Come on! You're fine, come on!
Stay close to me.
Go on!
Gentlemen, we're freeing the collapsibles on the top deck, so you ought to get up there. How are you doing with the boats? All gone. Or nearly all. The collapsibles will be the last. So you should all go now to the boat deck. If you can't find a collapsible, then climb down a rope and swim out. Don't wait for her to sink.
I somehow can't picture it. Can you, Giulio? Of course, you must go if you want to.
No, thank you, sir.
Well, I don't really care to be on the boat deck. Not as things are. Situations like this really don't bring out the best in people.
Mr. Andrews?
Please let my children pass! Please let my children pass!
Oh, help her! Get the children onto the boat.
Give me your hand. Muriel! Muriel, my God, Muriel!
No, it's not broken, it's fine. I'm fine. I can stand.
Ha! Get in there and take charge!
Yes, sir.
Batley? Here, let me help you.
Go. Go, just go. They're loading. Loading a boat. That boat, full.
They're loading it, we're too late.
No, we're not too late. We're not too late. We're not too late. I think there's another boat.
Oh, poor thing.
I'm sorry.
What for?
All of it.
Oh. No, John, I'm sorry. I was nice when you married me, wasn't I? I wonder what happened to that nice, reasonable woman. When did she go away?
I know why she went. Because of me, because I gave you nothing that I promised. Oh, my dear. There's so much I wish I'd spared you.
Well, you could have spared me, Croydon. Let's be friends now. Let's put all our regrets behind us and die at peace with one another, please, John.
Regrets? How could I have any regrets when marrying you was the most exciting, the only exciting thing I've ever done? How could I regret that? Come on. If we're going down, we should go down fighting.